I thought we could talk about the lepers in our lives, the people we lock out of our lives. We can begin with an experience Jesus had. He was on his way to the city of God, Jerusalem. He knows this is where he will be arrested, go through a kangaroo trial, and be sentenced to die by crucifixion. It's a story about 10 lepers who met Jesus. They asked him to have pity on them. They kept their distance, but they were loud in expressing their need. The 10 lepers were like dead men walking, driven out of town and forced to leave their homes and family. No one would come near them, and certainly no one would touch them. We are not told how they recognized Jesus, but they were not at all shy about asking him for what they wanted most, to be healed and to be able to go home to their family. They refused to accept their condition as final and fatal, and they reached out to Jesus for help. And Jesus did not disappoint them. He did not hesitate at all. He did not ask the lepers to make an act of faith in God. He didn't ask anything from them. Jesus saw them and simply said, "Go, show yourselves to the priests." Now, the lepers were not healed on the spot, but they had faith in Jesus, his power to heal. And as they went toward the priest's house, all of a sudden they realized that they were healed. We will never know about the other 9 lepers. But one of them, one of the 10, a Samaritan, a foreigner, returned to thank Jesus. I think we can forgive the 9 for not returning to give thanks. If we were in their shoes and were forced to leave our families for a long time with no hope of ever returning to our loved ones, I'm sure we would make a beeline to the priests and then rush home as fast as we could. This healing story reminds us that we owe God for everything we have and everything we are. We should never forget what Jesus did for us. He suffered, died, and rose from the dead for us. His resurrection from the dead is the greatest of all miracles, far surpassing the healing of the 10 lepers. Even when we are forgetful, he remains faithful to the promises he made. So the only true response from us should be a grateful heart. There's a deeper meaning to this story. We have many lepers all around us. No, not people suffering from Hansen's disease. That disease has been practically eliminated. No, the lepers I speak of are the people who are locked out of our lives, people we exclude, people on the fringe of society, the marginalized, and what we might call the throwaway people. What Jesus did for those 10 lepers, he wants you and me to do. We must be concerned about others, no matter who or where they are. We must be neighbor to one another and treat everyone honestly, with dignity and with justice. And that means everyone, without exception. God bless you and your families.